They say music is a universal language, and you know, they're probably correct. After all, who doesn't love a great foot tapping? If you believe the plot of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, even aliens. But as much as you love music and music theory in all its forms, and as much as you think you know about your favorite songs and artists, there are still plenty of opportunities to be totally floored, and I'm going to tell you the 12 amazing facts of music that really sings. The world's largest free concert have an audience of 4.2 million people. Does listening to music enhances physical performance? An astronaut released an album with all songs recorded in space? This all coming up on the 12. 1. Rod Stewart hosted the largest ever free concert. Several free concerts have been reported to have an audience of 1 million, but such numbers tend to be exaggerated. However, according to Guinness World Records, Rod Stewart's 1993 New Year's Eve concert on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, remains the most attended free concert that ever took place. An estimated 4.2 million people were in attendance at this performance. The second most attended free concert was Michel Jarre's September 6, 1997 performance at the University of Moscow, which reportedly had an estimated audience of 3.5 million. 2. Listening to music enhances physical performance. Research has consistently shown that the synchronization of music with repetitive exercise provides enhanced physical performance, helping people both work out for longer and train more efficiently. In one study, participants who cycled in time to music found that they required 7% less oxygen compared to cycling with background music. In other words, music provides temporal cues that have the potential to make more efficient use of physical energy. 3. An astronaut released an album with all songs recorded in space. In 2015, a Canadian astronaut named Chris Hadfield released his first album, which was entirely recorded while he was in orbit. Not only was he the first Canadian to walk in space, he's also a talented musician who's went viral with a cover of David Bowie's Space Oddity. Hadfield spent 144 days at the International Space Station recording his 11 original songs for his appropriately titled album, Space Sessions, Songs for a Tin Can. If you are still with me, subscribing to this channel will be hilarious. Do you know that there are people who feel nothing towards music? Musicians have shorter lifespans than the general. A man sells more CDs than Beyoncé. This all coming up on the 12. 4. Do you know that there are people who feel nothing towards music? Well, let me answer for that, and it is going to be yes. Per the results of one study conducted at the University of Barcelona, 5% of participants did not feel any emotion whatsoever, didn't feel any chills or want to tap their feet when listening to music. Before you start calling these study subjects monsters, you have to know that they're totally normal in other ways. They received pleasure from other things, like food and sex, and had no other evident psychological issues. These were happy and healthy college students who just naturally did not care for any kind of music, and I think that is. 5. Musicians have shorter lifespans than the general. Study conducted by a University of Sydney professor titled Stairway to Hell, Life and Death in the Pop Music Industry examined the deaths of artists, which took place between 1950 and June 2014. The study specifically looked at longevity and the proportion of suicides, homicides, and accidental deaths. Longevity was determined by calculating the average age of death for each musician by sex and decade of their death. These averages were then compared with averages by sex and decade for the general U.S. population. The results: musicians' lifespans are 25 years shorter. That is horrible. 6. In 2016, Mozart sold more CDs than Beyoncé. In fact, Mozart sold the most CDs in 2016, beating out Adele, Drake, and Beyoncé, even though all of those artists had Grammy-winning hits that year. So, how would an 18th century composer sell more than pop music's greatest names? Well, in October 2016, the Universal Music Group released a box set commemorating the 225th anniversary of Mozart's death. Each disc included in the box set counted as one CD sold, and each set contained 200 discs. Throw in the proliferation of streaming, which has significantly dampened CD sales, and voila! Plus, the box set itself flew off shelves. As of this writing, there are only 4 remaining on Amazon by $686. 7. Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song. Jingle Bells is a Christmas classic, but it didn't originate that way. Written by James Lord Pierpont and published in 1857, It was meant to be sung during Thanksgiving. The song's original title was One Horse Open Sleigh, then it was changed to Jingle Bells, or the One Horse Open Sleigh when it was reprinted in 1859. There is a plaque in Medford, Massachusetts, at the former site of a tavern, where the song is said to have been written in an area where, and an era when, sleigh races were popular. If you get something new, don't forget to like this video. 8. Music helps plants grow faster. A study conducted by South Korean scientists from the National Institute of Agricultural Biotechnology found that plants grow faster when music is played around them. The study used 14 different classical pieces, including Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, in rice fields. Findings were that the music helped the crops grow at a faster pace and pointed to evidence that plants have genes which enable them to hear. 9. The most expensive musical instrument sold for $15.9 million. For the past couple of decades, the market for fine Italian string instruments, namely violins, violas, and cellos, has been hitting the highest notes in value. In 2011, the Lady Blunt Stradivarius violin sold for a world record $15.9 million, which was 4 times the previous auction record for a Stradivarius. Industry experts put returns on Stradivarius and Guarneri del Gesù violins at about 10% to 12% annually, which should music to any wise collector's ears. That's a lot of money, by the way. 10. The Happy Birthday song brings a bunch of royalties. In 1893, the Hill Sisters needed a song for their kindergarten class to sing on birthdays. Today, Happy Birthday is the most profitable song of all time. The song's ownership had changed hands a few times over the past 100 years, but music holding company Warner Chappell bought the rights for $15 million in 1990 and have held them since. Today, the song brings in $2 million a year in royalties, which comes to $5,000 per day. Another fun fact, the song costs $25,000 to use it in a movie or TV show. 11. Michael Jackson so badly wanted to play Spider-Man in a movie.
He wanted to be Spider-Man, to buy the rights to Spider-Man. I think he wanted to play the part of Peter Parker. He never said that, but I gathered
He
that.
attempted to buy Marvel Comics, the company that created the character and owns the rights to Spider-Man, so he could make it happen. Stan Lee, Marvel's chairman up until his death in 2018, has recalled this story publicly. The comic legend said that he thought Jackson would have been a good Spider-Man. However, Lee felt that Jackson was not a very good businessman, so it's a good thing the rights were never sold. And the last one is going to be, music is physically good for your heart. A study conducted at the University of Pavia in Italy showed that music promotes a healthy cardiovascular system by triggering physiological changes that modulate blood pressure, heart rate, and respiratory functions. Researchers also found that rich classical music phrases, lasting 10 seconds long, cause the heart rate and other parts of the cardiovascular system to synchronize with the music being played. The study tested 24 subjects, half who were experienced singers and half who had no musical training. The musicians showed stronger physiological responses than the non-musicians. Finally, thanks for watching my video, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.